Hello everybody, thank you for joining me as I step up to Immortal. For those of you who were watching the Warring Washington series, I hope you were satisfied with how far I took it in terms of demonstrating how to play wide while maintaining happiness, even when you're taking over cities. From the time I had started that series to the present, I had learned more about domination, as well as been enticed by the honor tree. So I thought I'd step up to Immortal so that the AI would provide more resistance, and so the honor tree would be a little bit more reasonable. Anyways, you can see I've randomly rolled Germany here. I won with them once before. It was a 3-city science victory. It was mostly a peaceful game, so I never really got to play with any of their unique abilities or anything like that. So this should be interesting. Let's see here. Not the best starting area. It's a little production poor. And unfortunately, with my warrior being on the different side of the river, yeah, I'm not going to get too much visibility here. So I'll just buddy up against the mountain. We'll have a river. We'll be on top of a luxury that produces gold as a tile yield. And then, of course, the other thing I'm looking at is, oh, okay, we got a cattle and a sheep as well. So that's good. Question is, do I want to go for a religion? If I had 3 marble and stone tiles, I definitely would. So let's go ahead and research pottery just so I have the option. It's my understanding that when you're playing for domination, and of course as you climb up in difficulty levels, the viability of being able to pick up a religion is reduced. Okay, we can find a ruin. I'm coming this way rather than going for this ruin, because from here it would have taken my warrior, what, like 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, and would have taken 5 for the scout to get it. This way, even if I get scooped, at least I won't have wasted my warrior's mobility. Excuse me, Spearman. That's a good starting ruin, I would say. It's not enough to tribute yet, but maybe after I pump out a scout or two. Of course, I got to move away so I can continue scouting. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and pick up that ruin, of course. It's money. So let's go ahead and buy that cattle tile, get some growth going here. I'm going to build a second scout. Get those scouts out there. Try and find an upgrade ruin if possible. Okay, so there's some free faith. That's nice. That'll definitely help with that. Oh, another ruin. And some pretty rich lands here, just far enough away from our capital. Maybe we're looking at a possible expand. And archery for free. That's pretty nice. When I'm playing the mines, one of the things I like the most about them is that you can build archers before you spend the time to research archery. And now we can buy an archer, perhaps, deal with that camp, maybe get a free unit since we're German. Oh, look at that free Pantheon! So I gotta hope nobody founds a Pantheon this turn. Okay, city-state border Rome. Okay, I can come here and still. Oh wow! So now we've got 20 faith. Yep. So even if only one AI starts a religion, we'll still get a religion. All right, free Pantheon. I meant Pantheon. I didn't mean religion. That's counting my chickens before they hatch. Stone Circles is a pretty good Pantheon. Obviously, the problem is that it says quarries, not iron like Earth Mother. You actually have to improve the tile, so it's not going to happen right away. But it's 2 faith per tile, and we've got 2 within our capital in that rich land. There's a stone down here. A lot of tiles going on here, so that might be a good expand. Although that too also looks a little production poor. So that's why I'm researching animal husbandry. I want to see if I can find some horses nearby. Get a little extra production going on here. Alright, let's see here. And we're first to meet them too, so we've got enough money to buy an archer now. And I think that's what I'm going to do. And it's tundra here, so we know this is the border. This guy's over here. So maybe I'll have this scout come down to this side of the mountain range, start clearing counterclockwise, and then he can come up and maybe do a larger arc of cloud removal. So let's buy that archer, get the monument going, of course, since we're not playing tradition. Oh, and I meant to mention when I took the honor opener, it's a common newer player mistake to take the honor opener. I should start heading back towards that camp. So I gotta cross over. I'll cross up here just for a little extra visibility. Looks like coast. so that's helpful. Anyways, if you're not actually playing the honor tree, you don't want to take the honor opener, even though it seems like it should be able to pay for itself. It really doesn't, because say you're going for tradition, the cost of finishing the tradition tree is going to be a lot more if you take another policy first. And the amount of barbs you would have to kill to make up for that cost, it's not very realistic. So I know when I was newer to the game, I thought the whole being notified of when a camp spawn up was invaluable, but you can live without it. So if you're not playing with honor, it's probably best not to bother with the honor opener. Alrighty, so let's. Oh, goody. Alright, so we're off to the races already. Very good. Free unit because we're Germany. So I bought a archer, and now I've got a brute on top of it. And that might be enough for our military strength to start tributing. Of course, I'll have these guys start heading over here, deal with that camp. It's going to take some time, though. I've got a river, some rough. Like, it sucks, because if I cross the river, it's going to take me 2 turns to move 3 tiles, because this hill... Like, if this hill was here, it'd be a lot better. Or if there was another flat land. Alright, so let's go around the city-state to find out what's on the other side of that mountain. Okay, so we find another ruin, and it can't... This one's a little too far away, so I won't deal with that. Oh, what's this? I should have checked that first. Ooh, that's right here. Oh, and it's an archer, so we'll be able to one-shot that, no problem. It'd be overkill. Alright! Okay, off to a super start here. I'm going to continue to work the growth tiles, get that science up as much as possible. We want to be able to get masonry early for that stone circles. And I don't see Venice around the capital, so it'll be interesting to see whereabouts we met. Oh, he's right there. Oh, okay, maybe he'll provide a flanking bonus here. Can I do it just like that? Outstanding. Okay. Alright, and we're still not ripe for tributing anywhere. That's a little unusual. But I'll have this guy come here to start heading towards crossing the river. Start heading for that camp. I don't know what the Spearman and another archer will do. I think these two should be able to handle that by themselves. So let's start heading for masonry. See if we can't make some use out of that free pantheon we got there. Okay, I'm taking down the right side of the tree. My understanding is the way to play honor is if you're going to be warring right from the start, the left side's okay because the great general, the experience, you're going to want that right away. Otherwise, what you're going to do is go down the right side, mostly for military cast, and then go down the left side so that you can get your units out, start beating up on barbs, getting some experience, you know, and then when it comes time to actually do your warring, to go ahead and start taking the left side. But we haven't actually found a Civ city yet, so that's something to keep in mind. Oh, and the military just keeps on developing all by itself. That's awesome. This is gonna be fun. Oh, okay. I almost missed that we were ripe for tribute. For those, I like to point this out. For those who aren't aware, I love promoting enhanced user interface. See how Prague, the icon, has got a black background because it's just normal. Well, here this one's orange because they're ripe for tribute, and that's really handy. Nice feature. So we're gonna get 60 gold. So not only did this one archer give us another archer and a brute, but now it's already paid for itself part way. And we should be able to tribute all these guys. Like, I don't know, you want to count out 8 from the city tile, so it's 2, 4, 6, wait, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, so everybody but the brute's currently in range of Wittenberg, and that's somehow not enough to tribute them. Since these guys are heading up this way, we might actually be able to tribute everybody. So let's see here, 2, 4, 6, oh, lots of room. Okay, so let's have everybody start moving up this way just to... maybe, yeah, okay. And they weren't ripe for tribute at the start of the turn, but they became ripe as a result of my movements, and that's why I had to mouse over them to get it to turn orange. That's a small limitation of the game there. Alright, so next I think I'm going to build a worker, and here's why. First of all, we got one tile that's going to be on the other side of the mountain range, so there's going to be a little bit of logistics issue, as well as this rough wall here getting from one side to the other. Oh, we do have horses, that's good. Also, this land is generally hammer starved, so I want a worker to get started on all that. Also, we got the free pantheon that requires tile improvements, so I want to get started on all that. We haven't found a Civ's city yet, so stealing workers is going to be a little arduous, if even at all possible. So I want to do that. And if nothing else, oh, I forget what else I was going to say. Something about taking the honor tree. I forget, though. Okay, so let's see here. Wittenberg is ripe for tribute. And we did tribute Prague, so the next closest are Vatican City and Iffy. They're on the same level, so 2, 4, 6, 8. If these guys cross the river, will that be enough? It is. Alright. Very good. Oh, that's the other thing. Since we're getting this tribute on, we basically were at a point where I could choose between buying a worker or a settler, and it's looking like I'll be able to buy a settler with all this tributing going on. Should be able to 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so these next turn these two can move here, and that should be enough to tribute them. And that should be our settler. So I'm going to have these guys start heading out west. I'm liking this as a settle spot, and since there's open land here, I'm thinking I might make this my whipping boy as far as racking up experience and stealing workers from. So I want to get these guys over there. I am on Immortal, so I expect I won't be too long here. Okay, we met Siam. And yeah, I meant to point this out in the beginning. Pangaea, standard size and speed, Immortal difficulty. Oh, let's get away from that. Oh, good. I definitely want to head west just because we can see enough east, and if that's going to be my whipping boy. And we still haven't found Rome or Venice, even though we met them very early. That's very nice. I like that. Let's get away from that archer, though. Okay, some visibility there. Oh yeah, we want to tribute these guys. I should have done that first. Alright, there we go. Puts us at 501 gold. It's like it was our density. Okay, so we'll have these guys continue out west. Another reason is because, say there's a barb camp over here. If I'm going to be stealing a worker from them, obviously they're not going to send it out while there's a barb camp around. So I want to clear all the fog around them. Actually, you know what? I should have. Well, I'm playing honor, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be a safe trip. And anyways, let's see here. Get these guys to go over there. That's such a long trip. Can't wait to get rid of all that. Okay. I was kind of going to have the scout do like a light west and this do a more heavier west, but with all this here, I'll just keep on going. He's military, if nothing else, so that's something. Okay, mining is done. Let's see here. Surprise. And that marsh tile will protect us from getting slammed, so that's kind of nice. Okay, should be safe there. Lots of visibility. Let's push through the... Oh, good. We should be able to one-shot that with the archer to help. Another city-state border there. I'll have to remember to pick up on that. And we'll definitely get started on masonry. So already we're off to the races here. Great. Bam. And another free... Oh, what's Rome doing there? That's quite a detachment there. Anyways, let's get to taking these camps down, shall we? Okay. That's some nice removal of the cloud, at least. And we meet Sweden. I don't care about that. Kalish, huh? Well, if we're settling there, this is a little far, but we'll keep on scouting, see where it leads. Okay, I'm pretty much going to take just the rough option on all of these. Go in domination, try to offset the natural resistances. Okay, you come down here and we can tribute them. Awesome. And we're first to meet them too, so I don't have to... I should have been checking to see if they have protection, but nobody's yelled at us yet, so I guess I got lucky. He's going to head east, but not trespass. I can still reach all these tiles if they put out a worker. Him, I'm actually going to have heal up. I got quite an army, so I can afford him being... He's my most strong unit, obviously, so healing him up's not a bad idea, but I want to find out what Rome's about. If they're like right here, then no big deal, but if they're not right here, then they might have been preparing for a settle. And if that's the case, well, I got all this firepower here, I'd like to find out about it. Anyways, this is actually going to put us into unhappiness, so I'll work this tile rather than the food tiles. And for this reason, I should come up here and buy this tile and work the high production tile rather than the growth tile, because our growth is nerfed until we can repair that. We'll be able to repair it as soon as military cast. For those who don't play honor, It's really quite a strong policy. You can basically turn your units into human monuments, as well as get a little happiness. And that's really nice because, like, when you first found a city, you can have somebody parked in there, and you're working towards your boulder growth right away without having to buy or build a monument. So that's pretty handy. Oh, excellent. And this is nice too, because then should be able to. He'll probably shoot him, and then he'll be able to tag team him, which means I'll be able to get over here in time to have some human monuments hanging around. Let's go ahead and work the hammer rather than gold. In fact, let's work that way because I'll be improving the marble before the cotton, I would anticipate. Let's see here. If you come up here, you can continue to head east. I'm going to have him heal up a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. Let's find out. Okay, so he's not that close. Alright, no big deal. Okay, let's shoot at that. Who else? Oh, yeah, it's a little confusing because it's a brood icon, but it's my unit. Alright, so that's cleared off. Next to the border, so we get a little bit of rep back. And that's just enough culture to allow us to go ahead and take this policy. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody in range of the cities yet, so I'll have to take care of that. In fact, this scout might, yeah, he'll come here and park in the city next turn. He can come here, so we'll go boom, boom. He should arrive just in time to help clear this camp. And we've got a worker ready for us. Very nice. Indeed. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, so heal one more turn. And this is really nice, because he can't see me, but I can see him. So, yep, alright. Looks like he's going to give us that. So we're on top of the worker game, which is nice because we've got 2 cities already. He's going to start heading back east. Let's see here. You head east. You, whoops. I'm not about to make peace. I will probably be at war with them for a long time. And that puts us back into regular happiness. So I'll go ahead and grow. Although, you know what? Yeah, 6 turns, that's too quick. What's going to happen is when I grow here, that would put me at -1, but he's going to arrive in the city here, so that would put me at 0. But if I let this city grow as well, that would put me into negative happiness. So I'll just work on the hammers for the moment, and I'll try to switch the tiles back over and make it to where the city will grow in the exact same turn that I end up getting a little extra happiness. These guys will come over. They'll basically be my human monuments, free up my scout to keep scouting, free up my archers to hopefully recruit more military. Nah, rats to you. Although, you know what? If I clear this camp, and then he moves into the camp, and then I kill him, I would get an archer, not a brood. I think that's how it works. That would be really nice. Let's see here. It's 2 turns until masonry, so I can move here. 1 turn until masonry. Masonry comes online. In the same amount of time, he can come out and do the stone. So we'll get the faith rolling, and he'll actually come into the city and heal up. So next turn, that scout should be free to leave. Alrighty, keep heading east. What would I do with my spearmen? Oh, city-state border. Okay, that's good. Yeah, maybe I'll have him go up there and meet them. Anyways, let's go ahead and park our butts there. Culture goes up. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's not quite as quick as the tradition opener, but 2 per city is quite nice. A little bit better than the tradition opener, or tradition tree. Alright. Okay, we'll head up there. You are going up there. He can come over and get started on the silk for happiness reasons, I suppose. Alright, what's going on here? You could clear by doing 23. You'll do 25. I want to take no chances there. You just sit tight for a turn. This guy will relieve you next turn. And that looks good. Alright, this is a pretty nice start, if I do say so myself. Okay, unit promotion. And, of course, as the rep for these city-states gets repaired, we might be able to tribute them again, which might lead to a second settler. when you first tribute, you'll get a minus 300 modifier, as you can see there. It's virtually insurmountable. You're going to have a serious army on top of that. But like here, Prague, one of our earlier tributes, you can see it only says negative 40. With enough military, you can overcome that a little bit. It's a bit of a resistance, but so yeah, we should be able to retribute all that. Okay, definitely go calendar next because we did settle on top of the cotton. Let's get a library up here. I'm a little iffy about whether to build a settler or not because I'm pretty confident between clearing camps and a second round of tributing, should be able to have that taken care of. The money situation, that is. Alright, so let's see here. Everybody's down here, so you maybe come up here and get a little scouting here. Well, who can reach first? Probably the Spearman can still reach first. Anyways, let's get started on that. You'll get started on that. We'll get the faith rolling in. No problem. Alright. It's nice having a free Pantheon that spits out 2 faith per tile. I'm really partial to the faith system in Civ 5, so one of the things I don't look forward to in terms of stepping up difficulty is how I might have to give that up. Okay, let's shoot there. I think I might have him come out here. He's pretty damaged. The question is, would he survive being shot and then landing the killing blow? I could always pull him back if it looks like he won't survive. He'll definitely survive the shot. I just don't know if he'll also survive the... So we'll at least threaten him that way. Alright, so you do the shooting, you do the clearing. Oh, look at that. So nice. Oh, and this is something else I get to talk about. Notice how now we've got a minus 10% production, even though we're at happiness. This is a unit limit. I want to take a moment to explain this because I was actually playing Civ 5 a long time before I even realized this was a thing. I was playing a game one time as Venice when I figured out the hard way that there is a unit cap in the game. What you can do is you go to military overview, and I don't know if this is a button that enhanced user interface puts in or if that's in the vanilla UI. You can come here and go to the unit list as well to reach military overview. But as you can see here, here's unit supply. See how it says supply deficit 1? Total supply is 11 and we have 12. And that includes workers, caravans. So right now we're only allowed to have 11 units, and we've got 12. Since we're 10% over, we have a 10% production hit. And it's important to think of it in terms of percentages, because if I had 20 units right now, it would take 2 units of going over to be 10%. So you'd actually be able to go over by 1 unit and not have any penalty. And if you're 20% over, it becomes 20%, stuff like that. And the way it works is you get 5, and then you get 2 per city you own. We have 2 cities right now, so it's 4. And then it's also 1 per 2 population. And that's total population. Like right now, see how it says 4 and 1? We have 5 total. It's 1 turn to growth. So next turn, I'll have 1 more unit, and that'll go away. So I'm not going to do anything about it right now. You can do things like disband units that are in your borders for some gold, or gift a unit for some rep. But since it's going to be cleared up next turn anyways, I'm just going to ignore it. Okay, what were we doing? You're doing that, and that's it. Alright. Oh, we actually shot my archer, so that should be safe, I think. Yeah, alright. Okay, and there's the growth, so the production deficit goes away. Very good. I'll continue working the growth. You get started on the silk-ish. Alright, we're already ready for retributing. Now, the thing to keep in mind is, let's see, did I actually tribute you while you had the minus 40? 100 plus 65. So yeah, it might have been that he still had the minus 40 and I was able to overcome it because my Spearman and everybody's within range. But that 40 drops off in about 20 turns. I don't think it's exactly the same every interval. And of course, by doing the tributing, you get minus 15 rep. So even after they come back to neutral rep, it's still not necessarily ready for retributing. Alrighty, so these guys, let's see, the camp notice came up. Where's that? That's way over there. That's too far. I mean, we got a lot of units. I might be able to send a couple that way. But right now, let's just get these guys over the river so that they can be more useful. This is my scouty type, but there's a traffic jam here because of the river, so I'm just going to have him heal in place a little bit. My other scout is down here, so it's not like I need him to continue scouting. We'll use him for military. Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, you can just sit tight. He'll come back into the city, and then he can come over here and alleviate my archer. Unless I need a blocker, I suppose I could just use the brute. See, camp down there, don't care. Let's see here. Go ahead and meet them. And they're ripe for tributing too. Alright. And you can see the amount I'm getting per tribute is going up as time goes on. Look at that. We could buy a worker right now if we wanted. Which means we shouldn't be far away from being able to buy a settler. Alright, so go ahead and start chopping that down. Looks like he'll finish just before we get the calendar online, so that's a little unfortunate as far as timing goes. Okay, more coast. I'm okay with that. You heal up. Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me. That barb had to come from somewhere. And it doesn't appear to be over here. When you're playing Honor, it'll only tell you about camps that appear on tiles. Okay, he's willing to offer peace. As much as my military's growing, I could just stay at war with him. He is a little far away, though, and I didn't take the time to look at his city. It's a little too early for war. One of the nice things about playing the Honor tree and filling up the right side is you kind of can take your time, develop some relations. Like, say, he turns out to be next to somebody else and he gets all aggressive, then I can denounce him and attack, and then we won't get as big of a penalty. So I think I will go ahead and make peace with him because he's got some money. So if I ask for a lump sum, this is the same amount as what 2 horses would be. Okay, he goes for it. So now we're almost just 1 tribute away from being able to get our next settler, which is great. Oh, that camp's pretty near, so we can actually deal with that. Oh yeah, but there was a barb that came in from here, and there's some tiles here I can't see, so there's a real good chance that there's a camp in here somewhere. Oh, it doesn't really look like there's much room for tiles that way. So what I'll do is I'll have this archer come over in case he needs help with the camp. And now this guy can come down here and act as a blocker. Let's see, let's get some visibility on the camp. Okay, hand axe. It's nice because that means he won't hit him. Can't hit him, in fact. So I'll get a shot. He can be ready to influence the camp in 2 turns, which would be a little too soon. Whereas these guys will be able to address it sooner. So I'll actually have him just start heading down towards Hamburg. You know what? This forest will be right out of the way just in time. That's pretty nice. There's some Venice. What's he doing out here? He's trying to get a worker back before I have a chance to get it. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. Okay, and you know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been looking at my tiles. We're 2 turns away until calendar, so let's go ahead and do that. 2 turns away. Okay, so right as I get some happiness online, I should grow. I meant to keep an eye on that, so it's not a problem. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna move him. It's my scouty type, so he can move in like that. Maybe I should have him come over. Yeah, why not? I don't have anything to do with this archer. Okay, let's do some scouting. Oh, an archer, and I have a spearman. Okay, so I don't actually need him. And this is the only camp nearby. So maybe I have him... Well, let's see here. As soon as they clear up, I can have... He'll come back and alleviate him. He can start checking for my next worker. So we'll just have him stick to home for the moment. Basically, I think the way I'm going to play it is if I don't have anything to do with my military, I'll probably start heading in towards my would-be whipping boy city-state. Okay, he got damaged. Does that mean he'll continue to fight with that, or will he go for me because I'm lower combat strength? Well, I'd rather keep my scout pristine, so let's just keep on moving. Alright, let's head for philosophy, make sure we can get National College in a timely fashion. Okay, it's a good thing he started coming over. Alright, let's do that. Let's see here. Shoot. 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 And then hit and clear. That way he doesn't do it. Oh, and we get a hand axe. But that puts us into the production deficit. So what I could do at this point is I could gift one of these units to a city-state. Two problems with that right now is, first of all, I want to retribute these city-states, and gifting them a unit would up their military, making them harder to do that with. Plus, since we are tributing, we don't really know what city-state we would want. So let's look at our population. We're at 6, and we're 2 turns before both cities grow. So in 2 turns this will be alleviated, so I'm just going to let it ride once again. But this is actually one of the downsides of playing it this way. Okay, so I don't know what he wants to do. Maybe I have him come across the river and head over here. Maybe add some militaristic pressure to these guys. There's a lot of units there. Why aren't you ripe for tribute? Hostile and militaristic, so we're pretty much not going to be able to do them until they lose that 40. Anyways, so yeah, maybe I'll have him head over. I've got so many units centralized here, we can pretty much handle anything. Whoops. Okay, it'll take 2 turns for that, not a problem. I don't care about that. Okay, we didn't get an archer, which is just as well, because we're already at the production limit. Okay, I'm going to continue to work for growth, because we keep running into that unit cap, so growth is going to be a good thing. Let's see here. Go with rough. With that. Okay, so let's see here. The hand axe would make a nice human monument. I don't want to get rid of the hand axe because they actually upgrade to knights. So that's really nice. So I don't really want to get rid of him. So he'll make a good human monument, and that'll free up another blocker. He's not as strong as the Spearman, and we are at war with them, so I'm not going to be able to tribute them again. I tributed them late, so we got to start thinking about who's going to be next to be tribute. I believe this is the first one, so this should be the first one to lose the 40. So I should keep them within range of that. 2, 4, 6, 8. Shouldn't be a problem. He's right there. That's a bit of a problem. Let's see. So I'll send my scouty type here because he can travel over this rough pretty easily here. And he can be alleviated to go mess with the city-state. In fact, I just have all these guys. These should all be enough to be tributing. So I'll just have these guys start heading west. Get some XP by getting shot by the city-state, perhaps. See if the city-state's produced any military yet. Okay, and happiness is doing really well. And let's get some money flowing, because I definitely want to be able to buy a settler. If you build a settler, it slows down your growth, which right now, the way we keep riding the unit cap, that would be bad. Let's see, what would you do? You would come replace the cotton we just sold, of course. That's a good idea. Alright, nobody's ready for retributing, so that's just the way it's going to be. Actually, you know what? If he, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so if he steps up, that might be enough to deal with them. If not, I can have these guys move in as well. Move over. Alright. There we go. There's our settler. So, you know what? I'm liking down here. We've got 2 salt, wheat, sheep, marble, Kalish, which, you know, meh, whatever. Maybe I'll pick it up a little bit. But most importantly, it'll give us the opportunity to have a science trade route. And the downside to that plan is obviously that would mean we can't attack Venice right away. Even though my military composition is such that I really could go for them right now and probably be successful. But anyways, let's go ahead and buy a settler because we can. And apparently we grew, so let's work that tile because that's going to be the next one I develop for faith purposes. So let's send the hand axe down to be the human monument for this city. This guy can come back and be the human monument here. That's a good idea. I like that. So you're freed up to go check on that. And I just obstructed my own unit. That's okay. You can be the human monument for now. You're in the way, dude. That's okay. We got a little peek on our soon-to-be new land. Alright. So if I was going to go for Venice right now, at this point I would go ahead and start taking the east, or the east, west, left side of the tree. However, if I was to take a Great General right now, it would add another unit. I don't need a Great General anyway, so... Yeah, not that I need professional army until I get construction. And that's going to be a while because I'm kind of emulating a plan of attack that I've seen better players take in. Namely, 3-city National College. Take the right side of honor, develop your science game, and then go for the throat. So, still can't tribute any of these guys, that's unfortunate. But I am going to still head off in this direction to hopefully overpower some -40 modifiers. It'd be nice. Okay, Prague is ready. Have you gotten the protection yet? You have not. So let's just keep getting that free money for now. I really don't see there being the ability to go for a third round. That's why I'm trying to squeeze out the second one. And the reason for that is because I'm sure my military will have better things to do by then. Right now we're just developing our borders and whatnot, so being able to buy settlers, for example, and workers, I'd buy workers if that's what it ended up being. Okay, so let's not be visible to them. And you come over here to alleviate him. You will have to trespass. We got Iffy, we got Prague, so we need Antwerp, and they're the militaristic ones, right? Yeah. Oh, we could overpower them right now. 2, 4, 6, 8. Which means as soon as he steps down, that should be good. It would if we had enough. I shouldn't have movies. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, they weren't in range anyways. Okay, so maybe I should have held one back. Not a big deal. They're militaristic and hostile, so they're difficult to overcome anyways. Alright. They're being resistant, but that will change. So let's start heading off in this direction. And likewise, I'll cut through just to get over here quicker. He can come here and get out of their borders. It's not like I'm going to be able to get a third tribute for the most part, so I'm not going to... Alright, he's the last one, so I'll put a turn in on the cattle before I develop the horses. And he was damaged, so I'm going to go see if I can figure out why he was getting beat up, since I have units out there anyways. Alright, so there's our happiness. Goes up just in time to prepare for the dropping of another city, which will modify our unit cap. We went back over the unit cap because the settler was bought. So when I drop a city, obviously that'll be -1 because I'll be losing the settler, +2 because I'll be gaining a city, and then if my... Okay, if these were added up to an odd number, it would be +1 again by adding that one citizen. So that'll be handy. Oh, look, and there's our next worker, just in time for our new city. Very nice. Do you actually have a military out? He doesn't. That's a little weird. I don't want to stray too far from home, but this guy has nothing better to do. So, since I'm going to be getting hit up one way or the other, let's move in. We'll get some shots in there. Are you ready for tributing? Still not. That's kind of weird, but let's see. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong thing. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so I should be able to next turn for sure. Just moving him should be more than enough to put them over. In fact, it looks like we've gone over on which I wasn't paying attention to. And I hope they didn't have protection because I meant to check that first. Alright, so let's get this caravan built. That way after I drop the city we can start trading with Venice and get the city up. Why am I up to -20 now? Oh, because I took over the worker, that's right. Okay. It's only going to be for another few turns, so not a big deal. And these guys were heading this way to help with tribute, but as soon as the Spearman steps in, that won't be necessary anymore. So, wasn't there a camp out this way? Yeah, maybe we can go clear that camp. I got the units out here anyways, and I've got plenty of units back home. Yeah. Can't hurt. If he calls for faith. That's not going to be a problem. I'm getting lots of free faith. Alright, that should be enough. Yes, it is. Alright. I should have checked that before I... Ooh, enslave a worker. No, I've got 4 workers, 3 cities. The capital's almost fully developed. It's tempting, but we're already strong behind the unit cap as it is. And plus I want the money, because if I can buy a library in my new city, then that will be a nice expedition as far as getting the National College up a little earlier, in theory. Okay, so he could take another shot from the city, so I'm just going to go ahead and work on some XP while I'm here, since everybody's piling up, so to speak. You can be my human monument. And you know what? I meant to have him come down here. So I'm going to end this section here, and then in the next part I'll just reload this turn. I want to get this worker heading down this way. I forgot. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.